Was in the springtime one sunny day. My good girl left me, she went away. And now she's gone, I don't worry, because I'm sitting on top of the world. She called me down in El Paso, said, come back, Daddy, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, because I'm sitting on top of the world. You don't like my peaches, don't shake my tree. Stay out of my orchard, leave my peaches be. But now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. You come here running, holding out your hand. I can give me a woman like you got your man. But now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. All right, Sitting on Top of the World. Great tune, classic tune. I believe it was first recorded by the Mississippi Sheiks in the 1920s. Wow. Probably, yeah, their most popular tune without a doubt. I think they recorded it maybe twice. And look them up if you've never heard of the Mississippi Sheiks. They were such a good band. Bo Carter and all those guys. They were really a black old-time country band. They played a mix of fiddle music and blues and novelty songs, sometimes risque novelty songs. There were a lot of bands like that at the time. There was actually a great book. I have to pull up the title. It's on the history of jazz, and there's a long interview in there about a jazz musician who played in his parents' band, his father's band, and uncle and all that. And they were a black fiddle band in Denver, Colorado. And see, music was not always as stratified as it became, in the 50s and 60s. And growing up with a lot of the old timers, I knew, white folks who played blues and black folks who played country music. And everybody played a lot of the same old tunes. I mean, Etta Baker was a real big influence in my music. Got to learn from her. And everybody knows her as a great blues guitarist. Most people don't know she was also a great old-time banjo player. And her father had been a banjo player as well. So, long history in that. Be sure to check out the Mississippi Sheiks. The song, I think my favorite versions of it were actually by Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. Bob Wills loved Sitting on Top of the World. I mean, he must have recorded that song 20 times. I mean, I got the two big old Bear Family box sets, full, recordings of Bob Wills, and there's so many versions on there. I doubt he ever played a set without doing it. Doc Watson did it all the time. Doc's version was a little faster. Of course, Bill Monroe turned it into a bluegrass song. Very fast, and Doc's was kind of somewhere in between Bob Wills and Bill Monroe. Great tune. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you the way I play it is simple. Usually I'm like, this old blues song's so simple, all you got to do. All right, let me break it down. First of all, it's important, let me kind of adjust the camera just a little bit. There we go. It's important to understand that this is my version of the tune. Okay? This is not as anybody recorded on a record. This is not anybody else's version. If you don't like my version, go play somebody else's version. You'll enjoy it more. I'm not saying that to be, offensive. I'm saying other people have different versions, and you may prefer their version. What you may want to do, though, is come up with your own version. Now, I think it sounds really good in the key of D. I think most often it's recorded in the key of D. It doesn't sound right to me in any other tune. Now, let's just strum through the chords. To start with just D major, which you notice I was playing in the closed D position, which is actually just D major with a couple fingers added down here, or you can think of it as C moved up 2 frets, okay? That's where I play it because I can get this note here. All right, but let's strum through it first of all. So, it's in the springtime, one sunny day, my good gal left me, she went away. Well, now she's gone, and I don't worry, because I'm sitting on top of the world. By far the easiest way to play it, okay? It's D for a few bars, G, back to D, A major, back to D for just a couple beats, and then A7, back to D. So when I do it in closed position, I'm going. Okay. Now, let's put that into context, and I'll start to show you how I do the solo. Okay. We're still here in that closed D position. I'm going to play the A note, so that's A, F sharp, A, and because I'm here, I'm just going to reach over and grab probably the 4th string. I'm going to bounce back and forth here. I'm going to alternating my thumb between the 4th string and 5th string there. So, and because I've got an open string here, when I grab the A, I'm actually just playing that 4th string twice. So I got it muted. It doesn't ring out real loud, so you wouldn't pick up on that necessarily. And that's G, that's an F chord moved up, so it's G, and I'm doing the 7th note and pulling it down. And that sounds so good to me. I don't know what you all think, but stay out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Back to D. So I went from the A to D. Actually, that is the D note. Now she's gone, and all I'm doing is hammering on. And I don't worry, and I don't worry. You can do it either way. You can go up there, you can go, I don't worry, or more traditional is, I don't worry. And I'm going to hammer on again, because I'm sitting on top of the world. Alright, so we're hammering on from, what is that, B to C sharp. Make sure, let's see, make sure that I'm on the right note there. I think it's right. And then to the D from C sharp again to D. So E, A, D, G. So A. Oh, I'm going from A to B. That's where I was off. I was on the wrong string. A to B, C sharp to D. All right, there we go. And here I'm actually using the back of my fingernail just to kind of give it almost a strum pattern, because I'm not really getting a lot of my bass notes here. So D, E, D to an A major chord. Again, I'm hitting the A note up here. So, and do it again. And then to A7, but I'm going to grab this F sharp and go. Let's see. So that's just hold open A7, go F, E, D, put your little finger there on the D, so, and then do it again. Alright, now for the solo, the break, I guess I should call it, because I'm playing the solo, so it's a break. Let's do the same thing, but I'm just throwing one little variation. And I like this variation a lot. Takes a little practice to hit it right, but go. All right. Very easy actually to do this, but to get the timing right and to land right is difficult. So, ooh, what notes are these? Well, that's a C. Well, I'm not there even. So that's a B, and ooh, where am I here? B, A. Okay. And that's what is that? D, E, F sharp. That seems right. Well, anyway, just watch my fingers. And you got to go right back into that closed position. See, that's the hard thing, is going from up here. You can buy yourself a split second if you just kind of strum up and then go down. Okay? So one more time. Yeah, and so you get that little extra rhythm, a little beat in there, and it makes it flow. It makes it flow together better. In my opinion, if you don't like it, don't play it that way. But let's do that again. So. Just slide that down again. Alternate that bass. So. And again, I'm just grabbing that. And now that. See. And finish it out, make it sound nice and fancy. Go. Just that's like a call response type echo. I'm just going. Let's see. Very simple pattern. Again, what is that? That is just like we did earlier, where we went. We now do here, and then come back to this string. That's the 4th string. Now, of course, you gotta have big hands to be able to do that. That's just gonna be a stretch for some people. You could probably work your way around it though, if you even want to do it. Totally optional. Yeah, you can take your fingers off. You don't have to do the way I did it. Yeah, I mean, so however it works for you. I'll play through the solo one more time. I think you got the idea. Like I said, simple song chordally. You can figure out your own way. You could probably figure out a way to play it similar to the way I do, but a little less complex. I don't know, a little less tricky. This is just the way I like it. And all that is, if you're wondering, you're probably not. It's an F chord moved all the way up here to the 12th fret. So I guess what you just bar it across the 10th fret, and it just is a nice way to end the song, I think. I do that a lot. I like to let my chords ring out. You can do it with harmonics if you wanted to get fancy, but anyway, that works for me. Y'all, I hope you enjoyed the tune. Have a great week. I'll have some more old Piedmont and old Delta and Texas blues for you next week. Remember, feel free to get in touch with me anytime if you got any questions, if there's anything I was unclear about, or if you just want to talk music history. You can find me on, well, certainly on YouTube, but on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm always open just to hang out and chat about music. Just an aside, a couple of days ago, a fella put on, I guess it was on Twitter, he said, was George Jones the best country singer of all time? And my answer was, well, when he was at his best, he may have been, like in a tune like No Justice in This World. If you haven't heard that, pull it up. Gosh, There's No Justice in This World. It's like, in my opinion, George Jones at his finest. But I said, but then you got to talk about Hank and Lefty and all these guys. And we started chatting back and forth. And I said, and don't forget Ray Price. And suddenly everybody's like, yeah, Ray Price was amazing. It's like no one, for some reason, no one had said anything about Ray Price, you know. And I started reminiscing about, you know, yeah, Ray Price was amazing. I mean, seriously, probably the greatest country singer of all time, actually. Major hero of mine. I got to go to his 80th birthday concert. And I was telling this guy how this came about. You know, I used to work in politics and journalism. And I was on the road all the time. I was driving, you know, sometimes 10,000 miles a month minimum, and all throughout the South, and sometimes up in the Midwest and such as that, and up north sometimes too. But wherever I was, I'd try my best at night to get WSM so I could listen to the Eddie Stubbs show. And Eddie Stubbs was so great, and he would always talk the music trivia. And, you know, I love the history, I love the trivia and all that. So I guess I was about, I don't know, 25 or so, probably somewhere around there. And my birthday was coming up, and the WSM was advertising Ray Price's 80th birthday concert, and they had some tickets to give away. And they were doing the tickets and such. Well, I didn't know this, but apparently my mother, knowing what a great Ray Price fan I am, was calling in trying to win those tickets, you know. And she called and called and called, and then she gets the guy and says, I'm sorry, you know, we just gave the last pair away. And she said, oh, I'm so disappointed. My son would have loved those, because, I mean, the concert was basically sold out by then. And he said, well, let me talk with some people. It turns out he was talking with Eddie Stubbs. And he said, you know, we have 2 tickets left, but they're obstructed view. And she said, it doesn't matter. He just wants to be there. I know he's going to want to be there. He's going to, you know, this is going to be a dream come true. Well, this is what a great guy Eddie Stubbs was. That obstructed view, you remember the Ryman Auditorium? This is, you know, home of the Grand Ole Opry. Right at the base of the stage, there were these semicircular steps. I mean, they're still there. Did you know those are movable? For Ray Price's birthday, they moved those steps, and they put up 2 rows of folding chairs. And that's where we sat that night. I could reach out and touch Ray Price. Bobby Speicher was back with the band playing the fiddle. The steel guitar player, Buddy Emmons, was with him. Jimmy Capps, my buddy Jimmy Capps, was playing guitar. He was a friend of mine. I'll tell you about Jimmy someday. I'm sitting right there by Eddie Stubbs and the guy from the Country Music Hall of Fame. I mean, we sat there and in awe. And, you know, between sets and such, just talking the history of country music and all the influences and all the incredible people that have played that stage. And I got to take my mom with me. And best concert, without a doubt. But that's how cool Eddie Stubbs was. So really, all these musicians have been such a great influence on me. But when it comes to that desire, that knowledge for the history and the trivia, you know, I got to thank Eddie Stubbs for a lot of that, and I got to thank him for like the best night of my life, honestly. I mean, the guys at WSM, they were really good, really good. So, anyway, y'all, have a good one. I'll talk to you next time.